Let's talk about Sober September and two Amare distributors preying on people with alcohol problems, alcoholics, people who struggle with their sobriety, and with addiction in general. This will not necessarily be a light-hearted video, so if any of these topics is concerning to you, you're not in the mood for these, or you don't want to listen to these topics, then please feel free to skip this video and tune in another time, or when you feel like this is a topic that you can digest. Battling with sobriety and with alcoholism is hard. People who have experienced that, who give advice on social media, who support people on their journey to sobriety or their battle with addiction in any way, shape, or form, I think is valuable, is really important, and it is great. When people who are in multi-level marketing companies, in this case in Amare, do this, then that is something that I find very concerning, especially when it is centered around selling the company's products, making unsubstantiated health claims, and essentially also trying to recruit people who are very vulnerable because of their addiction, then that is absolutely disgusting and wrong. I'm going to react to two people who are distributors in the multi-level marketing company Amare, and they are very outspoken about their own sobriety story. One of these women has made this her brand on social media, sobriety, and her drinking Amare's happy juice that helped her to stay sober. There are lots of health claims, lots of unsubstantiated, absolutely disgusting information that this woman specifically spreads on her social media, and it is quite clear what kind of an audience she wants to target. I will make a dedicated video about this person, will come up soon as well, so stay tuned if you're interested in this. And now she's partnering with somebody else who is also a distributor in Amare, who has been sober for 5 or 6 years. These women combined forces in Sober September, trying to help people with sobriety, with alcoholism. But there is a certain connection to Amare that I find really, really disgusting. If you're interested in these types of videos, then please stay tuned. If this is not for you, like I said, feel free to tune out now. This is not going to be a light-hearted video. I was really mad. I was really infuriated by this. But I think it's important to shed light on these topics, especially because we are in September. I wanted to really raise awareness what a scam Sober September from these two people is. In the month of September, these two people have opened up a sober support group, and that is what this video is about. So let's take a listen. I will stop as we go along, give my commentary as I typically do. Let's get started with Sober September.
So she's the one who introduced me to Happy Juice. You guys are like, I know you love your Happy Juice. Yes, I do love my Happy Juice. And Bethany is the one who introduced it to me. And actually, she's the reason why you guys know about Happy Juice. I mean, you probably would have eventually, but she's pretty much hooked up everybody with it. And she is a 10 years sober as well. And she has a super duper master's degree in addiction counseling, which is like really cool. And would love to have one of those. It's not willing to put the time into that. So, so that's Bethany. And we are going round 2 on the sober support group, aren't we?
Yeah. So we're going to do a Sober September, you guys.
The person at the bottom has an addiction counseling master's degree. She is located in the state of Washington. I believe she lives in Seattle. She is somebody who is in this profession of helping people with their sobriety. That is absolutely yikes. That is absolutely disgusting. That somebody who has a profession or who has a professional career in this field will venture into an MLM to then attract people who struggle with sobriety. I mean, that's another level of, ooh, yikes. That's another level of disgusting. Both of these women have experience with alcoholism. They both got sober, and they have been sober for 10 years and the other one for 5 or 6 years. And I think that that is amazing. I think if you have an experience like this, and if you have a background like this, and you have the ability to speak to people who currently go through what you struggled with, and you can actually provide help, that is great. Connecting that to a multi-level marketing company is absolutely disgusting. And I do not know if these two women actually believe that Amare's products, their happy juice specifically, really does anything for you and for your sobriety, or whether they just pretend because they sell the products and they want to be successful in the company via recruitment. That is something I do not know. Either way, it is disgusting. Either because you do this on purpose, then I do not even have words for what kind of a person really does this, what kind of a person you have to be to target people that battled with something you battled as well, or what kind of delusion you have to go through that you believe that supplements will be helpful for you, especially Amare MLM supplements. And either way, it is messed up. Whether you believe that this did something to you and you will have to continue to purchase these products to help with your sobriety because you assign such a power to them, or because you do it on purpose, scamming people and also putting other people's sobriety at risk because you want to profit of that.
I think Jackie and Jackie, you can butt in if I'm not speaking, like if you disagree with me, because I'm going to use the word we. But I think we both have discovered in our time, Jackie 6 years, I'm 10 years. You really learn things in hindsight of sobriety and things that would have been helpful in the very beginning versus not having. And one of those things is stable mental health support. Because really mental health is the driver of the ups and downs that you have in sobriety. And if your mental health just isn't in sync with your life, then that's where relapse happens. That's where spirals happen. Just so many freaking things. And so 10 years ago, I don't think I would have even known about gut health supporting mental health when I first got sober, because it's just the science is only like 15 years new. And when science is new, it can't really be shared. And so that's where I kind of even got into Happy Juice in the first place, is because I had this big ego on my shoulder that gut health didn't equal mental health, because in grad school, they didn't teach me that. But I hit a rock bottom in my own mental health last year with my anxiety and ADHD. So I was just, what do we do when we hit rock bottoms? We're willing to try anything, right? So it's just like, I'm doing this, I'm giving it a go. And it changed my life. So that is and it's changed Jackie's recovery too, and her whole postpartum journey, which you guys know if you follow her. So we are taking Sober September with an approach of mental wellness with this 3-part drink, because
both of these women struggled with alcohol and they have been sober for 6 and 10 years now. And the person at the bottom is really pitching sobriety and happy juice on her social media consistently. She uploads so much content, it is absolutely ridiculous. And she is really focusing on sobriety and making absolutely ridiculous health claims that are infuriating to see, especially with her background as an addiction counselor. Gut health is important for your overall wellness, absolutely. I don't think anybody would doubt this. If you've ever had issues with your gut health, I think you can relate how important it is to have a healthy gut. But this connection of healthy gut, healthy mind is absolutely overrated, and it is absolutely overrepresented in Amare specifically with the shilling of their happy juice. There's not a lot of substantial proof that your gut health is actually directly connected to your mental health. That is very, very trendy, and that is very trendy still at this moment, and Amare is really banking on this. So are Amare distributors. A healthy gut doesn't equal a healthy mental wellness. That is not a thing. It is trendy, and it is being used, and it is being abused by a lot of people, specifically in Amare, as we see on this very call. Because these people are on a call offering you a gut health, mental health, sobriety health group for the month of September.
It is going to give you this solid baseline. Like if you think of those recovery rocks that stack up, I don't know what you call those. There's a formal name. There's like 6 of them. You see them at recovery centers with waterfalls.
Oh, yeah.
If you think of your recovery like that and trying to stay sober, and you put your mental health at the very bottom, that second rock, if it's your family, if it's your faith, if it's your, name it, your kids, you cannot build upon it if you don't have something sustainable, rock hard, and solid at the bottom. And that's where your mental health and making it sustainable. So when up and downs do come and things do get wavy, like, you still have a solid baseline. And that's where the gut health comes in. So if the name Happy Juice is throwing you off, like it threw me, look at it as mental health, because what people don't know, and what I didn't know, and I don't know if Jackie knew, but 90% of serotonin is in our gut. And that is just like a key factor. And so if we can get our gut communicating with our brain, the serotonin, the dopamine, the other happy neurotransmitters, those neurotransmitters are kind of in charge of us reaching for the quick fixes, like reaching for sugar, reaching for alcohol, reaching for XYZ. If we can get that stable, then we're more likely to be able to sit back, pause, process what's happening, and get through it versus reaching for the quick fix.
Amare called a mixture of 3 supplements the Happy Juice. That is what these people are referring to, and what a lot of people in Amare are referring to. And allegedly, that is Amare's best seller. It is 3 supplements mixed together, and that is supposed to be helpful for your gut health. Products included are Mentabiotics, Amare Edge, and Energy Plus. Energy Plus, in a way, is their energy drink. It is one of the mixtures in this drink. Then you have Amare Edge, where the company claims that it's a nootropic that supports motivation. Very, very vague information. 3 synergetically powerful ingredients like mango, leaf, lychee, and palm fruit. Yeah, sure. Supports mental flow, body and mind endurance, and better neuron regeneration. And then we have Mentabiotics, balance the gut with Mentabiotics. Also a very general statement. What does it mean to balance your gut? Packed with happy probiotics and prebiotics. Now, while probiotics are very important, the studies on prebiotics are not necessarily in favor of prebiotics at this point. They do not really do a lot for your gut. And what does happy mean? Once again, not very scientific, very general statements, because we're not talking about medication. We're talking about supplements here. Supports a lower cortisol, enhanced calmness, less anxiety, and more serotonin, blah, 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 dopamine production. Nowhere in any of these products does it say that it is a good tool if you want to battle alcoholism and if you want help on your journey to sobriety. What she claims here is that if you take Happy Juice, the products I just showed you, they can help with your gut cravings and therefore impact your mind and will lead to you not experience sugar and alcohol cravings. That is kind of the setup of this call from her side. And I want to be very clear, those are health claims that are absolutely not substantiated, not by Amare themselves. This is something this person says. It is not proven that that is the case. And she speaks a lot about sugar cravings and alcohol cravings, allegedly from her very own experience, but I want to be very clear about this as well. Those are unsubstantiated health claims. And sugar cravings are not the same as alcohol cravings. If you are comfortable sharing your feedback or story with alcohol or with sobriety, if you have one to share, then please feel free to do that down below. But just because I have sugar cravings doesn't mean that I have alcohol cravings.
Well, yeah, and that's like thinking about a serotonin boost, like, you know, the dopamine of getting high or getting a drink or whatever is like we've unbalanced our entire body and our brain on how do we feel, you know, how do we feel, how do we know how to feel, how do we handle what we feel, like our body, especially early on in recovery, your body is just like, I don't know what to do, where's the stuff that I'm used to having, and then your brain's like, let me just give my body what it's used to having, you know what I mean? And honestly, I wish that this was something whenever I first got sober. I mean, it would just be such a help. It's such a foundation, like you said, of something to build on. Because in my mind, this is the way I think of it. Like when I think about like getting healthy or getting fit or getting physically working out or any of that, like physically, if my mental health in the back of my mind is like, like, I know, I'm depressed and I can't find the joy in everyday life, or I'm overstressed, or I'm over anxious, or these thoughts just keep going and going and going and going. Like, none of that physical stuff is going to happen because I can't even get myself to think straight enough to get out of bed and take a shower. You know what I mean? Like, much less go move my body and eat the right things and all of that. And so when your mental health is, we keep saying stable, and it's kind of like, are we ever really that stable?
Yeah.
More stable, like just something to stand on that can actually like help you reach to where you're trying to go, like to build on and go forward. And I think in recovery as addicts, and really people in general, like we just get all over the place. You know what I mean? We have so many things going on day in and day out. It's like, if it's so easy to get, tripped up, with your rock metaphor, like tripped up and just like fall over, because there's so many different things going on. So if you don't have something to stand on, it's just, it's like another tool in your toolbox, which is what they teach you in all the recovery things. Is like, staying sober, you just have certain tools that you use. And Happy Juice, the mental wellness drink, so easy to use, so easy to drink, is a tool.
Teaching people, helping people on their sobriety journey, especially if you yourself have experience in that as well, is amazing. It is super helpful, and it is something that can actually save lives. If people do that, and if people help other people after they have experienced that journey themselves, I think that that is very, very important. I want to be very clear about this. This could be such an inspirational approach. This could be such an inspirational life. This could be such an inspirational call. Knowing what tools to use that could be helpful on your sobriety journey, understanding how important mental wellness is in everything you do in your life, but also specifically in sobriety, is so worth it. But to connect the tools that you claim have helped you on your journey of sobriety to an overpriced MLM product is absolutely infuriating to me, and is absolutely non-substantiated, absolutely disgusting. Because to pitch an overpriced MLM concoction of 3 products, claiming that it will help with your gut health and with your mental health, and therefore also be a valuable tool for you to get off alcohol and to be sober, is wrong. Absolutely wrong. To assign so much value and so much power to the Happy Juice is super dangerous. I think, first of all, also for these people, if they believe that the Happy Juice is actually so important for them to stay sober, that is so dangerous. But it's also dangerous to pitch this to people who are currently on that way towards sobriety, who are battling potentially with alcoholism, especially coming from 2 people who signed so much power and so much value to a product that they sell and that they profit off. Because how do you use the Happy Juice tool? Well, you have to go online, you purchase it, then you use it, and then you will very likely have to purchase again and again and again if you believe it will help you on your journey. And who is selling those products? These 2 people are. Let's not forget the marketing aspect and the financial incentive these people have to sell Amare products and to recruit people into their downline.
It's just another tool to use. And so we are doing this Sober September group where basically we're bringing a lot of different tools together. Our personal experience, other people's experience, but we are focusing this around the Happy Juice. So part of the requirements for membership, which I actually love, it's like a members only thing, so that it's people are there who want to be there, and people aren't who don't want to. Is a Happy Juice pack, but also a good attitude, and also just the desire to stay or get clean.
And here we go. If you really wanted to help people and give them tools on their sobriety journey, you wouldn't have to show the Amare products. You would be able to give them tools that are available for free. If you have experience with that, once again, if you have practical tips and you want to share, please feel free to do that down below, which could be valuable for other people. These people have an incentive to sell a product and claim that it can help you getting away from alcohol. They have a financial incentive to sell this product. So if you battle with alcoholism and you want to join this September sober group, then you must purchase the Happy Juice. You're not being invited to this sober group because these are two people who genuinely want to help you get sober, which is something they could do, which is something that would be amazing, them sharing their experience. No, you are required to buy a Happy Juice. You are required to purchase a Happy Juice from one of these two people, pay $160 as a regular retail customer for a pack that will last you for a month. That is a requirement to participate in their sobriety group. And that is shameful, in my opinion, especially when you have experience in that yourself on a personal level, but also like the person at the bottom, you have a profession in this. You should do better. You should know better. That is absolutely, absolutely shameful, in my opinion. What if you cannot afford the product, but you were hoping that this sobriety group would do a lot for you? Then you will not be able to join. That means it will be very devastating to you. What if you are able to purchase the Happy Juice maybe once or twice, and you believe that it helps you on your way to sobriety, on your journey, but then you're not able to afford it anymore? $160 is a lot of money that you spend every single month on a supplement. And it's also a lot of money if you believe that this will help you get away from alcohol and will stop alcohol cravings, because these are two reliable people, of course, who have experienced that themselves and who are now sharing this with a financial incentive to sell the product. And whether the Happy Juice actually does something for you or for these people, or whether it is a placebo and you want to believe that this is the magic concoction that will really help you because you struggle and you know how hard it is to be sober, then you will very likely put in a lot of effort to get the $160 each and every month to purchase the products. And what happens if you're not able to purchase the product? What happens if you don't have the money? Or what happens if you're not able to continue on that route? Will you be kicked to the curb from these two people? That is absolutely irresponsible.
Or sober. So even if you're not already, but you want to be, like, when I think about that, like, it amazes me on what the Happy Juice could do if you were still drinking and using and wanting to take that step over into the threshold of sobriety. Like that big moment of like going forward, like what that would do to kind of carry you.
That is really shameful. So we're targeting vulnerable people who are currently alcohol addicts. I mean, wow, shame on you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's what makes, I think, this so important, because you mentioned that motivation piece. Because you're going to be depleted of serotonin and dopamine when you first get sober. So this just really helps with that motivation piece, keeping you motivated, and you're able to apply the tools, the rest of the tools that we're going to help support and give you.
Right.
And the other thing I get a lot too is, well, I already have 4 years sober, I don't need this. Well, I had 9 years sober.
Yeah.
And Jackie had 5. And it felt like, I describe it as this: I learned all the things in therapy. I went to rehab for 60 days. I did AA. I was given all these tools. I've done healthy eating. I know exercise is good, but I could never just pause and apply it. And this it calms it helps you be able, it's the foundation. And it's hard to describe until you try it, but you're just going to have to trust the ones that, I don't want to say have it together, because Jackie and I don't have it together, but
if the Happy Juice is the basis of your sobriety, then you will have to continue to purchase this over and over and over again. Then you will not be able to get off the Happy Juice if you believe that does this for you. That means that you will have to buy this shit forever. And also these two people, if they actually believe that the Happy Juice is the basis of their sobriety and not the tools they received in therapy and when they were with the AAs. That is so predatory and that is so dangerous.
We know a little bit if we have as much time as we do.
And it's way together than it ever used to be, I will tell you that much. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Liz. But that's the thing. That's what I've noticed with this too is that like it takes people such a long time to grab it. I get it. It took me a long time too. I was like, okay, fine, let's do it. Fine, you're still talking about it. Fine, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I was actually going through a lot of mental stuff in my first trimester of pregnancy. So, and she just kept sharing about it and kept sharing. I don't even know if I had commented on it or anything when I actually bought it.
You had, I think you texted me and told me.
Yeah.
But you weren't doing the other side of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the first time I ordered it, and I didn't stick with it. Yeah, I remember that was the first time I didn't stick with it, and it just stuck in my cabinet. And then I got pregnant, and I was like, I gotta try again. I gotta do something. And I told myself, okay, I'm gonna give it, because I didn't give it a fair chance, just like anything else. I didn't keep drinking it. I was like, no, not for me. So I told myself, okay, 2 weeks straight of definitely drinking it every single day. And after those 2 weeks, I was like, wow. And I remember I had Sean start it too. And he came home one night and he was like, I don't know if it's this drink or what, but I am feeling entirely different. And I was like, it's got to be the drink because I'm feeling it too.
Great. So we're targeting more vulnerable people, in this case, postpartum women. Wow.
And that's like what I hear from so many people is like, I'm blown away at what I can feel already. And that's like the coolest thing.
Yeah, I didn't think it was the drink really either at first. I just saw all these little changes and I didn't even know the label of Happy Juice. I was just doing what someone told me would help me.
Yeah.
And so finally I looked up what was in it because I was just like, I wanted to make sure that it was okay and I wasn't messing up my sobriety.
Right.
Because I was starting to feel so good and I'm like, I probably should have done that 3 weeks ago, but I didn't. And so then I started, that's when I found the science on the serotonin, the dopamine, etc. So just like Sean was like, I don't know what it is. That's kind of what it felt like for me too.
I've had a couple people be like, I think it's just like the placebo effect of me drinking it, thinking it's going to help. I'm like, nah, you're going to keep feeling better. Like it doesn't go away. Like that's the drink.
You're just magically getting stuff done and being more patient. It's magic.
Well,
Yeah, you can get that rush of adrenaline too with a placebo because you believe that it will help you. That is actually scientifically proven. That is why a placebo can be so powerful when you assign a certain effect to a product that will do nothing for you. If you battle with sobriety, but you believe that Smarties can help you with that, and you will have a handful of Smarties every day, then that is also called a placebo effect. But yeah, that can give you the exact adrenaline rush that she was just describing so that you can get stuff done.
that was the big thing for me. So this is what I tell people too. Liz, yes. Hi, Taylor. Can you see comments?
I can now.
Liz, yes, we're gonna have to get you some again. But I did the same thing. I stopped, and then I started again, and I will never go without it.
10 months sober. That's awesome.
Jennifer, I'm telling you, you do. Yes, you need it. Yeah, Liz. I've actually talked to her. I've talked to her for a long time, over a year, and like I've followed where she's at in her journey, and it's just been very rewarding and very cool to like see both sides and like, help and be part of it. It's really cool. It's really cool.
So Jennifer and Liz, you guys need to get in the Sober September group.
Yes, we should have planned this better. Let's do another one. We're gonna have to do another one because I gotta leave in like 5 minutes to go get the boys.
Cool. So Amare distributors target addicts. Let's spread the word to raise awareness that this is what's happening at the moment in Sober September.
But we didn't even finalize. We will post the link. Well, we'll post the link to the group. You're welcome to ask to get into the group. You're welcome to do that, and then we can message you private and be like, hey, the membership, part of the membership for this group is the Happy Juice purchase, or like having had a Happy Juice.
And that is the issue. The fact that you have to purchase a freaking Happy Juice, a mixture of 3 supplements that are proven to do nothing for you, least of all for your gut health, that then will improve your mental health so that you can stay sober. If you have experience with alcoholism, drug abuse, sobriety, sharing your information on social media is so important and is so valid. but to do that with this purchase incentive of a happy juice, while believing maybe yourself, it actually helps you to be sober, so it must also help others to be sober, or to pretend that that is what's happening, is absolutely negligent and dangerous. It's absolutely infuriating to me. In my opinion, this is rather an entryway into another dependency. If you want to be sober, purchase this product, continue to purchase it, and then if you cannot afford it anymore, well, maybe also become a distributor. You can also sell this. That is so dangerous, especially when these women have gone through therapy and would actually be able to give practical tips, actual tools that would cost somebody who goes through this right now, that would cost them nothing. Tools you could use without purchasing an MLM supplement. And if the happy juice is already helpful for you, well, then you can also purchase this product and that product. That is so absolutely dangerous. And in a way, it's another really disrespectful PR tool, in my opinion, trying to recruit people and trying to sell them the Amare products. And in my opinion, this call is just another PR tool. So is there a sobriety group and there's Sober September if you're required to purchase products. Because in the end, the happy juice is probably just the beginning. This already works for you, well, then we also have these products. And why don't you take a look at those products?
Which is a really good deal right now because you get the happy juice, you get a free product credit, and you get a soft gut reset with it.
Yeah.
So.
And the product credit you can use for any of the products on the product list. And then we're actually dropping a brand new product that's related to kids' sleep, but adults can take it too. And that drops next month. And that product credit you can actually use to get that for free when it drops. So
which
that's freaking
sleep
cool.
Sleep is a pretty big problem when first getting sober too. So
dude, sleep is a problem for anybody, but sleep is, and that's on the list of the things. Oh, I was going to tell you guys some of the things we're going to talk about and go over in this group is, there's 4 weeks. So we're going to break it down in between each group. The first one's going to be like physical and mental health. And it's focused around that because when you're first getting sober or getting clean or early in your recovery, your physical stuff is like very present in what's going on. And your brain feels like it's like, you feel everything. And it's a lot. So we're starting out the week focusing on physical and mental health stuff. And then, of course, drawing it all into how the happy juice can help, or, anything else from Amare and what helps us and what would have helped us in the beginning of getting sober had we known, had this been even around,
Hindsight, our gift to you guys. Use it. It
yeah,
really is.
well, and that's what they say in, all the groups and stuff is like, use our story and our recovery as yours until it becomes yours, and it's ours to give. And it's kind of like the same thing.
But it is not the same. It is not the same to use your story for others to be on their journey to sobriety, to be on their journey to recovery, if there are incentives connected to that include purchasing products that you sell, that you get a commission off if you're selling it, and recruiting people. Like I said, this sounds like an entryway into the sketchy and absolutely unnecessary world of Amare. If you purchase the product now, it's on sale, or you get a product credit, because then there is a gut product connected to that you can also then take, and you also get a product credit for another product, the sleep product that is for kids, but also adults can take it, and you can try that product for free. Yay. It's an entryway into purchasing more products from Amare, targeting people who are going through recovery, who are current addicts, or who are already sober and feel they need more support years down the line. I find it absolutely negligent to use, in this case, their stories and their experience from AA groups, from their time in therapy, and utilize the tools and bend the tools that they learned there and almost pervert them to making people believe that this is the route for them to go now as well. Something in therapy that was meant as encouraging and as something positive to shill your overpriced Amare products is absolutely wrong. And I don't believe that people who work in this field, who are reputable professionals, or who do this because they themselves battled with addiction and they want to help others, I don't think that that is what they meant with borrow our story and also buy our happy juice. Absolutely not.
Week 2 is going to be about relationships and a healthy lifestyle. So relationships is one that we, trash while we're just trashed. And so it kind of ties into all the icky feelings that connect with that, like making amends, like saying I'm sorry, owning up to your own stuff. Like this group's going to be for real. It's not just like, hey, buy the happy juice and feel happier. Like it's like real stuff. If you guys missed it earlier, Bethany has a master's in addiction counseling. And she's my kind of person because she's like deep thinker and like really goes into things, and things that I try to say, she can word in like the perfect way to be like, oh my gosh, okay, I get that.
We're really paired.
That is so icky. If you have the knowledge, if you have the resources as an addiction counselor to utilize this to attract people to purchase products that you profit of. That must be illegal and that cannot be right. That is not something you can do, or you would have to disclose differently. Unfortunately, apparently she's still operating as this, or she still has her degree and is able to use it, but it is absolutely wrong if you have a financial incentive to push products because you claim they will help with sobriety when you also have a degree in addiction counseling. And I would also question if you sell products that you believe or that you pretend will help with sobriety, can you actually give a non-biased and independent information? If that is your ultimate incentive to sell the products, I'm not sure. And especially with the person at the bottom of this call, she is pushing the sobriety topic and the Amare product so much that I do not believe that she is actually capable to separate these two things. I myself, I cannot speak on experience with sobriety when it comes to alcoholism, but I have seen a lot of family members who were addicted to nicotine, to tobacco, to the nicotine in the products, in cigarettes. And that is quite a struggle. And one of the things that I've seen, some just did it cold turkey because there was certain health incentives. They just stopped smoking from one day to another and actually pushed through with that until the end of their life. Others, they sometimes have to take steps in between. Like I said, I cannot speak on alcohol. That's why I'm talking about the addiction to nicotine in this case, because it is something that I myself have experienced in my family. And some, for example, stopped smoking and started vaping and also started to eat more candy to kind of keep themselves busy and to stuff stuff into their mouth. And then they also realized, okay, vaping is also not healthy and it is not more healthy than smoking. And then they stopped vaping altogether. And it is really amazing to see how your body can heal itself. So stopping to smoke, stopping to vape was really important. And what the people then did, they ventured towards eating candy, eating lollipop, eating chewing gum just to keep themselves busy. And while of course it is not great to have sugar-free chewing gum that will probably make you go to the toilet a lot, or sugary lollipops, that is not the way to live a healthy lifestyle. In this case, if you have to venture from one addictive tendency towards another addictive tendency, you have the ability to start and heal your body, and then you can start to reduce the amount of chewing gum you take or the amount of lollies you consume within a day. So I do in a way understand the route to supplement one addiction for another and then to stop using that alternative supplement or lolly in this case and really try to reduce this and then stop and take that out of your diet. But I think there is a difference between you eating candy because it gives you oral pleasure because you're used to smoking and because you're used to vaping all the time. You don't necessarily assign healing qualities to this, and you don't necessarily assign a certain power to the lolly or to the candy or to the chewing gum because it helped with your sobriety from taking nicotine. And then to add to that, let's say you were a smoker and you were consuming a lot of lollipops, and then you wanted to get off those lollipops. What if there's a person in your life that told you, this is the way you can get away from smoking, and this is what helped me, and the person has a financial incentive to continue to sell you lollipops because they have such a huge range of products. And if you're financially struggling, you can also join that person that person's team and also sell lollipops to others. And that way you can make some money and then you can invest that back into the products. I know this is me really speaking from a completely different perspective here, but these things sound very much familiar and very much connected to this. I don't know if somebody is actually able to give you honest feedback on sobriety, on your road to recovery, if that is based on a tool that you sell. I don't think you can give actual great advice because you have this incentive to sell the products. I do not know if these people believe themselves that Amare products really helped them and helped them to stay sober, because they also said they were able to get off of alcohol themselves via therapy, via AA meetings, certain tools they learned there that were not connected to Amare products. They know how to get sober, and they would be able to share that information without shilling the Happy Juice or any of the Amare products. Maybe they don't believe that the Amare products will do a lot for you, but it's a financial way for them to make an income, to sell the products and to recruit. Either way, I find it wrong. And that is why I found it really important to speak about this also in September, to raise awareness that there are currently Amare distributors out there targeting people with alcohol addiction on their road to sobriety, pretending that they can support them in their sobriety in the month of September if you join their group. But in order to do that, you need to purchase a product from Amare, a $160 Happy Juice. I find that very, very dangerous. I find that really gross. It is kind of the bottom barrel of multi-level marketing activities from what I have seen, what I've seen from distributors. It is so predatory and it is so wrong. The blonde woman, specifically speaking, will come up in one of my next videos because I'm going to cover some posts from her specifically, because the way she targets potential addicts and how she displays her road to sobriety is absolutely dangerous and disgusting to me, and I want to raise more awareness. There will be more videos coming up from Amare that are not specifically centered around the topic of alcoholism and about this specific person, but this is kind of the kickstart for me to talk more about Amare as well. If you have any information you want to give on sobriety, on how to support people on their route that is not connected to the Happy Juice, to an MLM, to a specific product, then please feel free to drop that into the comment section down below. I think that could be really helpful for people who struggle with addiction. This was more of a heavier video. This was more of a heavier topic, but I find it so infuriating that I also believe it is important to talk about these topics. If you were able to sit through this video, thank you. If you find it interesting, please let me know. If you would like to see videos that are more lighthearted, there are entire playlists on my channel where I have more lighthearted videos that are not that heavy. So if you're interested in these types of videos, then please consider subscribing. If you appreciated this specific one, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to let me know something, or if you have valuable information on the sobriety topic, then please feel free to drop that down in the comment section below. And if you like these types of videos, then hopefully I will see you in my next more lighthearted one. Until then, tschüss!